Hello everybody, Dylan here, and today we're doing crappy pasta. We're not ripping off Yuri Win, that's what we're doing today. And we are reading Tails Abuse. Because what's a friendship without a little bit of abuse? We all saw it coming. They should have had therapy several months ago. So, let's read into this. The author starts with, I'm a retro gamer. I love to play both recent and old games. Look at you being creative there. But especially games created by Sega. Great, so you like playing shit. Revenge of Shinomi and Streets of Rage and Sonic and Golden Axe. That's all of them. That's every game Sega made. But a month ago, something happened. Something made me look at these wonderful games in another perspective. He went onto the internet. It was a foggy night, 3 a.m. to be more specific. Oh, look who's up past bedtime. I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on an emulator, and look who's being risky. You don't even need a Genesis. You think you're so badass. Since I wasn't sleepy, I chose both Sonic and Tails as my characters and started playing. After reaching Chemical Plant Zone, because Green Hill Zone doesn't matter, I thought I didn't have to tell you about that. I got bored and decided to play a little bit with the characters, because I'm a dick. I went to part of the zone where I could find many enemies, such as a grabber, a spider that grabs the character then self-destructs, a Spiny who shot balls of acid, and I used Tails to have a little bit more fun, because I'm an asshole. Since he's invincible and imitates every move Sonic does. I took a few steps so the enemy could see me, and when it attacked I ran, leaving Tails behind me. I did this several times until something weird happened. What, you got bored or you ran out of time because you're an asshole running around doing this shit? All of a sudden Tails' animation changed to the one he makes when he drowns. Yeah, liar. And the sound was different too. It was the sound your character makes when it touches the spikes without having any rings left, so the dying sound. The sound was very loud, too, even more than usual. I thought it was a bug, since the game was played on an emulator. I waited for Tails to appear again, but he never showed up. It's probably because you're an asshole. I wouldn't want to hang around with you either, you dick, going around getting me killed. I don't care if I'm invincible or not. You're supposed to use that to your advantage, not just fuck with it, you dick. I decided to reset the game because you know Tails is the most important thing of that game. You can't even play it without Tails. Everything was normal, except for the part where the logo is supposed to appear, showing Tails and Sonic smiling. When I looked at it, Tails was missing. He just wasn't there at all, the definition of missing. And instead of smiling, Sonic had a weird reaction, like he was disappointed or depressed. I couldn't tell which one. I was getting a little scared since it was too weird to be a simple emulator bug, but I tried to dodge it and it began playing again. I went to the options and chose both Sonic and Tails like I did the last time, which you don't need to do. You automatically start with Sonic and Tails. Look at this asshole who's never played the game before. But the only options were only Sonic. The other options were missing. I didn't know what to think. Well, you broke it, dude. I began playing. When I looked at Sonic's sprite on Emerald Hill Zone, he had the wrong expression. He looked uncomfortable, like he does when you don't touch the controller for some time. I would be uncomfortable too, because you're annoying, and that's what he gets when he's bored. So far, this story's boring me, and Sonic agrees. I controlled Sonic, but even when running, his expression didn't change. I was seriously creeped out by this sudden facial changing. So I closed the emulator because it's the game's fault, and I turned on my Sega Genesis so I could play it correctly without all those. Wait a second, you have a Sega Genesis? Why are you even using the emulator? I guess you could use it if you were like bored and was working on something, but no, you went over there to turn on the Genesis. What the fuck are you, lazy? And this isn't a ROM hack, he's just being stupid. I wouldn't be playing my Sega Genesis emulator if I had a Genesis sitting over there. But whatever, author, let's just continue with your madness. I didn't even know what to call, but I'm sure those things weren't just bugs. They're called glitches, or someone's fucking with you by giving you a messed up ROM. When the game started, the Sega's logo was different. It was red, and the sound was louder, like the one I heard when Tails disappeared. Oh no, it's infected my Genesis. I tried to believe it was just a glitch, because that's how glitches work. It infects your Genesis too, because the console was already very old. Mine's old too, but I never have demons possessing it. I was starting to get my doubts. Well, I would get my doubts too at that point, because it happened on your emulator, then onto your Genesis. You just create a spooky ghost, man. That's all it is. Despite that weird glitch, everything was back to normal. Except for it's not, because that weird glitch happened. Remember that? Tails was there again. The sprites were okay. The sounds were too. I sighed in relief, because this game really matters to me. And I started playing. When I reached the boss, I didn't have any rings, and I accidentally let Tails touch Robotnik's car, because I'm a clumsy dumbass, and made the same animation from the chemical plant zone, because this is his fault. And the game froze. I started freaking out and reset it. Seriously, dude, you didn't cause this one. You weren't being a dick. You were just trying to play the game. What, does this happen whenever someone lets Tails die, even if it's by accident? Very fucked up ghost, man. The screen was now white. No Sega logo, no sprites, no sounds, no nothing. I quit. I was very creeped out now because I'm a pussy. And when I went to turn off the console, a text appeared because ghost. I couldn't believe it. I have never seen such a thing in this game. Neither have I. I was more surprised by the text. ... You killed him. I tried to press all the buttons on the controller, all 3 of them, but nothing worked. I also tried to turn off the console, but I couldn't, because I can't unplug it. That's not an option. I even tried to turn off the television, but ... I was very scared by now. It didn't even say that he couldn't do it. Whatever. I sat on the sofa and grabbed the controller again, because I have no will. I can't leave the room. I can't burn down my house or whatever. I have to play this game and write a story about it. Another text box appeared. You destroyed his life. Are you gonna try to destroy mine too? Says the game that doesn't have a life. Are you having fun? Are you? And P.S. I don't know what you did, but that game's kind of pissed off. Those are fighting words. That game's gonna kick your ass, man. I'm just gonna laugh watching the Genesis console smack the writer right in the face multiple times. And when he's knocked out, the doctors will come and they will also laugh at you. I pressed the A button again, and I was now in the chemical plant zone. The background was different, though, and he spelled though wrong. The background was more darker than usual. I could see the different shades of red. What was it? ... blood? Of course it was. When things like this happens, blood is expected. But what type of blood is it? Is it hyper-realistic blood? The music was different too, because that's cliched and it belongs in this story. It was the boss's music, but in reverse. Only Sonic was there. The gameplay was normal besides one thing. Whenever I defeated an enemy, instead of the sprite of a bunny or a chicken, I would see the same animal but torn apart and in a puddle of blood. The blood was so realistic too. Some would say hyper-realistic. I didn't even reach the second stage. At the end of the first stage, I couldn't control Sonic anymore. He began running for 2 minutes because I had a stopwatch and I thought I would time that shit. When he stopped, another text box appeared. And are you ready for this one? Are you ready? Ready to see what you've done to him? Yes, I'm ready. I was speechless. I asked myself, what could I have done to let this happen? But I realized, did I kill Tails? No, the game did. You just happened to be a dick and let him get killed a bunch. I couldn't believe it. It was just a game, right? It was just a bunch of codes, because that's how game designing works. I couldn't do such a thing, could I? Dude, it's a fucking game, get over it. Then another text box appeared, but this one was different because the other ones were not different. There was just a yes or no option, because that's typical of this story. I didn't hesitate to choose no. I knew it. I couldn't even choose the option. I had to choose yes, because admitting to what you've done is a horrible thing to do. The game wanted me to choose yes. I did it because I had no other option. It was a horrible mistake. It can't be a mistake if you had no other option. The screen faded to black for 5 seconds. Stopwatch. I saw a close-up of Tails' corpse because Sega Genesis has incredible detailing. It was full of wounds and his guts were thrown out. He was missing an eye because, gross. That image was so realistic. Some would say, hyper-realistic. I almost vomited because I'm a wimp. Then another text box appeared, obviously. I hope you're happy. Well, I'm not because I'm reading this story. You killed me. So we're reading from Tails' perspective. Were you having fun with it? I knew you were. Do you want to do it again? Play with me again? I'm just a simple toy for you. A simple toy for all of you. I was horrified. I felt something different inside me. Was it guilt? Guilt for a simple video game character that doesn't matter? It couldn't be, because I don't feel guilt. That's why it couldn't be. I'm sure more players already did this to Tails, but for some reason I was chosen, almost like I was special. Was he really in pain? No, he's not real, dumbass. I never touched a retro game again because it's all retro games' faults. Letting them die will do the same thing. Try with Mario. Luigi gets pissed. I spend my days playing my PS3 because people don't die in PS3. Or fucking Xbox 360. GTA 5, no one dies in that game, I swear. And every time my character dies, I remember what happened. I'll never forget. We'll never forget. They sacrifice themselves for our entertainment. They will always be remembered. And now, what do I think of that story? It's as cliched as cliched can be. I don't know why people gave this story praise. It's got everything from blood to text box to it's the player's fault. He can't turn off the console. For some reason, he can't even leave the house. And people like this. I don't know why. Okay, so if you like this shit pasta, just comment down below why you like it and tell me how I'm being a dick about it. And if you did, then just hit that like button and possibly subscribe if you want to. I'll be making more videos soon, and hopefully I'll do more of these creepy ones, but it kinda gives me a headache just reading this shit. This has been Dylan from DHT, Games, Comic Series, and more. Bye.